Welcome to our exploration of passive voice. We'll cover active and passive sentences, verb forms, and more. Let's start with an example. The chair is being made by the carpenter. This illustrates a passive sentence where the focus is on the action rather than who is performing it. In active sentences, the subject performs the action, like, the carpenter made the chair. In passive sentences, the focus shifts to the action itself. The chair was made by the carpenter. Notice how the object of the active sentence becomes the subject in the passive sentence. This shift emphasizes the action over the doer. Consider the sentence, English is spoken by many people. Here, the passive form highlights the widespread use of English. Passive sentences are formed using be plus the past participle. For example, cars are driven by people. In simple present tense, people drive cars becomes cars are driven by people. The focus is on the action of driving. In present progressive, the boys are eating the cookies changes to the cookies are being eaten by the boys, emphasizing the ongoing action. For present perfect, Al has printed the photo, becomes, the photo has been printed by Al, showing the completed action. Let's practice converting active to passive. The squirrel gathered the nuts becomes, the nuts were gathered by the squirrel. Another practice. Matthew painted the wall, changes to, the wall was painted by Matthew. In future tense, the voters will determine the election results becomes, the election results will be determined by the voters. Now, let's discuss transitive and intransitive verbs. Erica sneezed is an example of an intransitive verb, as it doesn't require an object. Transitive verbs require an object, like, Janet earned the promotion. Intransitive verbs, such as, a problem occurred, do not. Transitive verbs can be converted to passive, like, Janet earned the promotion, to, the promotion was earned by Janet. Intransitive verbs cannot be passive. Let's practice identifying verb types. It rained yesterday is intransitive, as it doesn't need an object. For transitive verbs, Eva won a medal, becomes, a medal was won by Eva, in passive form. Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web, can be converted to, the World Wide Web was invented by Tim Berners-Lee, in passive form. Using the by phrase, we can specify who performed the action, like, this painting was done by my mother. The by phrase provides important information about who performed the action, as in, this desk was made by Manuel. In English, the active voice emphasizes the subject performing an action, like, my mother is a great artist. In contrast, the passive voice shifts the focus to the action itself, as in, this painting was done by my mother. Let's practice transforming sentences from active to passive voice. For example, Shakespeare wrote Hamlet, becomes, Hamlet was written by Shakespeare. Another example of active to passive transformation is, many students use computers, which changes to, computers are used by many students. When using passive modal auxiliaries, the focus is on the action being performed. For instance, Lynn will email you, can be expressed in passive form. Active modal auxiliaries like, Lynn will send it, can be converted to passive form as, it will be sent by Lynn. This involves using a modal, be, and a past participle. In practice, someone must mow the grass today, becomes, this grass must be mowed today, demonstrating the use of passive modals. For safety, you should not feed candy to babies is better expressed as, babies should not be fed candy, using passive modals. In situations beyond control, people cannot control hurricanes is effectively stated as, hurricanes cannot be controlled, highlighting the passive voice. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out via email. Thank you for your attention throughout this presentation. We hope you found it informative and engaging.